So happy to see you. My name is Dondi Dolan, and I have Madison King with me today. We're going to have a great time. Hi, Maddie.
Hi, my darling. Lovely to be here. You found me in my office where I'm preparing certain things, and I'm so excited.
We're going to talk all about what you're preparing today. I'm so happy to see you on the Isle of Wight, coming all the way across the land and the ocean to me in Southern Oregon and to all of our friends who are watching. And today we're talking about energy medicine for animals.
I catch bigger than you.
We are with our expert energy medicine for animals person, Madison King. I want to tell you a little bit about her. If you aren't familiar with Maddie, I call her Maddie. Actually, I call her Auntie Maddie. We're that close. She has been close with Eden Energy Medicine, my mom, Donna Eden, for well over 35 years. She helped us put together our teaching program for Eden Method, our certification programs. Maddie ran our European certification program. Actually, it was a certification program for all, but based in Europe for many, many years. But even before Maddie came to us, she had a diverse background in massage and reflexology and aromatherapy. She lectured at Westminster and Oxford. She has written over 7 books, 100 articles. You are a Renaissance woman. You're so wise, so smart, so full of love, so full of heart. We love you dearly, and I'm so excited to talk to you today.
Wow, what an introduction. Oh, just get my head back down a bit.
You know, I read all about you last night, and it's funny because we're close. We're close friends, and you're close with our company, our organization. You're close with all of our students across Europe and the world. And yet, when doing an interview like this, you want to read up on the person and see, are there any little nuggets that I've missed that would be good for people to hear? And oh my goodness, I could talk about you for a week. Your bio and your background goes on and on and on and on and on, not to mention that you had a background in television and marketing way back when in London, didn't you?
I did indeed. I used to work in the wicked world of advertising. Um, and yeah, it was in the days when advertising was a lot of fun. I used to make television commercials. Absolutely loved it. How wonderful it was. But I have to say, Dondi, there came a day. I remember I was down on the Isle of Wight. I am an islander. I was walking along the beach and I thought there has to be something else in life more than a bleach bottle top or whatever I was working on at the time. I had great clients, loved it dearly, and I just said bye bye. They all thought I was having a moment. So I went, nope, I'm off. And never regretted it. Sometimes in life you have to have the courage just to jump off that cliff and trust that your little wings are going to flutter on the way down. And mine really did. Mine really did, because I did study all those things, massage, remedial massage, aromatherapy, Traeger. I was a real course junkie. And it only stopped really, or it only sort of came to the point where I knew exactly what I was doing when I met your mum, when I met Donna Eden. Then that was the point where I thought, okay, now I know the path. Now I know where I'm going.
That's so
Yeah.
beautiful. Maddie, what do you remember what year that was when you met mom? I know you met in London, didn't you?
God, early 80s. It was a wonderful time. It was a time, some of you watching may think, oh, was there really a time before internet and Mr. Google and AI? But it was a time when the Mind Body Spirit Festival in London was the mecca for everyone. It was the one place a year you could go buy your oils, you could buy all these things, which no online shopping in those days. And also you could hear the real trailblazers of the time. And your mum, Donna Reedon, was right up there. And I know Donna tells this story. I can't resist telling it quickly, Dondi, is your mum was in a taxi going towards the Mind Body Festival, and I was walking along the pavement towards the Mind Body Festival. And you know, sometimes the synchronicity in life. Donna saw me, and you just know, and she stopped that taxi and opened the door, and I got in, and that was the start of it. And I went to her class that day, and she jumped off the stage halfway through and said, "You've got to come. You've got to come to Ashland. I'm doing a class." I went, "Okay, I'll come. I'll come." So a week later, I was in Ashland. And that's how it all started with your mother. And I do sometimes, Dondi, wonder where on earth would I be in life without, you know, not just your mother, but the amazing work she's brought to us, you know?
That's so fantastic. I love that story. And I have heard it from mom. And I asked her once, Mom, when you were in that taxi in London and you're being whisked off to speak on the big stage at Mind, Body, Spirit, and it was the Mecca, it was the
Oh,
Mecca.
yes. Oh, yes.
I said, "What made you pick up a woman on the side of the road?" And she said, "I knew I had to. I felt like I knew her. I felt like we were family. I saw her and I knew I had to pick her up and have her get in my taxi." So it's a wonderful story. I'm so happy you're with us. And
Mm.
today, I would love to focus on what you are teaching for us coming up shortly. We'll talk about the class later. For now, I want to talk to the viewers who are watching this about your background. Hopefully, you'll tell us a story. Maybe you'll give us a technique or two for our animals, our fur babies. And if you're watching right now, I don't know who is with us. A lot of people join later because this will be recorded and go all over YouTube and Facebook. But if you're with us live, put in the comments, do you have a fur baby? Is it a cat? Is it a dog? Is it a lizard? Is it a hamster? Is it a bird? Is it a horse? And Maddie, isn't that where you started with your love of animals? Wasn't it with horses? And can
Yeah.
you tell us a little bit about that?
I'll tell you a little bit about that and a couple of stories of yeah, which make me such a fan of energy medicine for animals. As a child, I didn't want any dolls. I don't think I owned any dolls, you know, or toys. It was horses. And I didn't have a horse or a pony at first. And I used to go up the stables and hang around the stables and ask to groom the ponies. And they took pity on me. So I've always loved and still do the smell of a stable, being with the energy of horses. I had to make do with my little dogs and cats and rabbits and everything. I think the only book I had when I was young, I kept rereading it, was, I think it's Anna Sewell, Black Beauty. You know, I was absolutely obsessed. And then when I was about 8 or 9, my dad bought me a little pony called Robin. And you know, talking about it now, I can feel that happiness because I didn't know he was going to buy it for me. It was a real surprise. And that was really the start. And I've always had animals and horses, cats, dogs, any animals, but those are the real animals that have shared my life. And it was interesting actually, just going back to your mum, because before I met your mum, I was doing the massage and the reflexology, and I would massage um, a horse or a dog or whatever, and I would feel things, and I wasn't quite sure, you know, my hands wanted to do things. We all have this, okay? We all have this. I'm not special, but it was only when I met your mother did I realize what I was feeling. I was feeling the body's energies, and suddenly it all made sense. So, against that background, how has it worked for me? Because when it works for you, that's when you really, really know and you get that belief. And it's worked many times, but I want to share two stories. One was with my current little baby, my little fur baby called Merlin, who was a sort of rescue. And he had no one was going to rescue him because he was a tiny little thing, and he both his back legs were broken, and no one wants to rescue. So I actually kidnapped him, dog napped him, and took him to my wonderful vets. I was living in Spain at the time, and I had a wonderful relationship with these two vets. And that's really important, you know, because we need vets when things go wrong, when there are challenges. And Merlin certainly had the challenge. And I thought he might have had displaced hips or something. Took him along. And the vets knew me. They didn't quite know what I did, but they were quite fascinated by it. And he said, this dog is so young, their bones will grow so quickly. Take him away, do whatever you're going to do, Maddie. He'll be fine. So every day I would do some of the techniques I'm going to share on the 15th, very, very simple ones. Nothing is complicated. And I did that. And now anyone who's seen him on Facebook, and no, he's a real strong little dog. Those back legs healed, they are strong. He has the slightest limp when he's tired. But that was all just working with the energies of the body to encourage his self-healing. Had veterinary supervision, but they left me to it really because nothing was major. The other story, something was major. This was again in Spain, a wonderful dog I had called Magnus. I'm not going to go into details, but he got attacked one day. I was in the middle of the Spanish countryside, up a hillside, miles from anywhere, and he was attacked very, very badly. Now, first of all, you know, when your little baby is attacked, you go into shock and panic. So if I'm really honest with you, couldn't remember anything too complicated, but I did remember a couple of things which I might do one today, actually, Dundee. I might do one today. It was very, very handy. And it enabled me to get him. I had one hand on him and one hand on a phone. I phoned someone with a 4-wheel drive to come and get me. And it enabled me to keep him conscious and alive. Well, I think so anyway, but certainly, you know, to calm him down while we got to the vets. The vet was awaiting. The vet did surgery, and it was pretty extensive, and he healed so amazingly afterwards because the vet worked his magic, and then I could come in with some of these techniques which just balance the energies and therefore promote the self-healing of an animal's body, which is quite amazing. You enable that healing. So the vets were pretty impressed. They were always saying, what do you do? What are you doing? So I shared my secrets. But yes, those were two stories which stick out in my mind. And I think I may share one thing now. Do you want to get your little cat, your little kitty? And
Yes, yes. And I
and if
want
any of you out there have got an animal sitting there with you now, do this, because even if an animal's really healthy, I'll tell you what this is going to do. It's going to do good things even to healthy animals.
to.
But I talked about the figure of 8. Now, if you're going to use your hands on your animals, always rub them together, stir up that old, stale, stagnant, tired energy, shake it off. These are your tools. They're clean now. Okay. Now, you can do, if you're doing it on a horse, I might use my whole hand. If I'm doing it on a tiny little kitty, I may use one finger. You choose the finger you want to use. I'm going to tell you the one I normally favor, which is the middle finger. And that is because it's connected to a flow of energy called heart protector in the body, which is very yin. It is very gentle. It's very feminine. And animals will connect to that and allow that connection really well. Or you could do, Donna taught me this little 3-finger notch, those 2 fingers and the thumb together. That's a neutral hold. So when you're working with your animal companion, experiment. Get curious. I wonder what would happen if I did a figure of 8 with this or with that finger or whatever. So figure of 8s, you can do big one, you can do small one, you can do it fast, you can do it slow, you can do it on the body, or you can do it off the body. So let me show you my little animal here. So I'm going to do it. He's very healthy. Okay, this little lady, this little man. So I'm going to use my middle finger because I like that. And I'm just going to go over his stuff. If this was a real cat, there's no way he'd let me do this properly. Probably he'd prefer it on his back. Just do it, experiment. Notice if you're doing it with us now, what your animal companion is doing. Is it like looking at you to say, what you up to, mum? Is it like, oh, that's nice? What's he doing? The art of observation. What this is doing is the figure of eight is the Tibetan healing symbol of infinity and healing. It's the ultimate yin yang balance. Okay. It is amazing for wound healing. Even on yourself, you can't see, I've got 12 stitches down here and I figure of eighted. When Merlin had his little manhood done, lots of figure of eights. Couldn't touch it. So if you've got a wound or there's infection, you just come off and do it in the field. Exactly the same, has the same effect. You judge. And sometimes, for example, with cats, they don't want you touching them. They prefer it in the field. So it's great for wound healing. It also strengthens the aura. So, if your animals are in front of a lot of screens or something, you can do figure of eights all around them, to really fluff out their aura. And over the heart, really do lots of figure of eights. We and they have something called the Wei Qi. It's part of the aura. It's our defensive energy. It really protects us against all the stuff that's going around in the world, in the air at the moment. What else does it do? It is also the figure of eight activates, and Donna taught me these. She calls them radiant circuits. They've also been called strange flows, curious conduits. They are as old and as ancient, and I reckon they predate meridians. Okay. Why is it good to activate them? Because when your radiant circuits are activated, with any figure of eight will activate them, they come in and they are the ultimate platinum troubleshooters in the body. When your dogs or cat or your horse, any of your animal companions are going to sleep, even when you're going to sleep, just do a few figure of eights. You can even do it from across the room because it's going to get those troubleshooters working whilst they're sleeping during the night and healing. The energy goes where it needs to heal. So that is, if you take nothing else away, take away this figure of eight. It's your new best friend. And as I said, when Magnus was attacked, I couldn't think of anything. I was in a state of shock. But I could remember figure of eights. You breathe, you ground, and you figure of eight. It's amazing. And it's so simple.
It is amazing and it is simple, and people look at it and they think, ah, could that really work? It really works.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, Maddie, when I have asked mom about what she sees in the body. So if you don't know my mom, Donna Eden, she sees energies in the body. She sees the meridians, the chakras. She sees wellness as well as illness in the body. She can see it all. And I've asked her as we're walking down the street, what are you seeing, mom? What are you seeing? And when she sees a healthy person, they have a lot of figure eights throughout their aura, around their body, behind their body, above and below their body, inside their body, a lot of figure eights. When she sees somebody who isn't healthy, either physically, mentally, emotionally, there is a void of figure eights. They just aren't there, or they're trying to come together and they can't. So this is what we do when we're tracing with our hands. We are training our body or our animal's body to have more figure eights that weave tightly so they have a strong foundation. So, Maddie, I want to mention now about your class. We are so excited. You are teaching for us energy medicine for animals on February 15th. And you have just shared one little technique, but you're going to be with us all day live online, folks. So from the comfort of your own home, you can get Madison King live all day for your animals. As always, in our organization with Eden Method, we have a money back guarantee. If you sign up and you feel like it wasn't a fit for you, we give you your money back, no questions asked. So there's really no risk in taking this class if you are interested in energy medicine, energy healing for your animals. Oh, and Maddie, I have to say, through Friday, we're giving $50
Oh,
off.
wow.
Yeah, and it's amazing because the price is already very low. You know, you work with us. We try to keep our prices as low as
Yeah.
possible for our viewers, for our community. So it's already low, and now we're giving another $50 off. So look in the comments. You'll see the link there. We have staff members and angels behind the scenes putting that link in for you, and you want to click on that link and read all about the class and what you get from that class. It's incredible. So, Maddie, that is on February 15th. Would you like to talk at all about a few of the things that you're going to offer the viewers in that class?
Just press my play button, Dundee. You know what I'm like. Oh, so much. Okay. There's so and also there's a replay. Are you doing a replay as well, which is fantastic for those who can't make it live.
Absolutely. Thank you for mentioning that. You
Mm,
get the recordings. You get the
yeah.
recording. You can watch it at
Get
your
me forever and ever.
Yes,
Lucky you.
because some people want to take the class, but they have a wedding to go to. It's on a
Yeah,
Saturday, or they must work and they think, oh, I can't take it.
yeah.
Sign up, you'll get the recording.
And
All
if you're
right.
in Europe, you might say, well, I'll watch the first bit, but then I'm tired. Then you can catch me
Absolutely.
afterwards. But let
Yeah.
me just tell you very, very briefly, okay? This was one of the most difficult classes I've had to prepare. Why was that? Okay, because Donna said to me, Maddie, I want you to go and I want you to go through everything you've ever taught. Okay, I've done classes for Donna in the past, a great one in Arizona called For Pet's Sake. I've had 8 books published, but 3 of them are specifically about animals. I've taught myself, I've worked with so many animals and their own and their guardians over the years. She said, I want you to go away. I want you to gather everything and I want you to distill it down for me into one day of what you consider to be essential. And that's what's so difficult, okay? Because as I was going through everything, I kept thinking, oh, that's my favorite. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's my favorite. I could do all that. And I really wanted to be grounded and say, no, I want something that is really easy. It's organic. It's natural. It's safe. Your kids can do it. And that it will make a difference. And so that's what I've done. And I'm a bit of a Virgo, okay? So I've structured this. I've structured it into 3 main parts. Okay, the first part is going to be what I call daily empowerment. It's the real basis of working with energy. What are the core fundamental rules, if you want, of energy? You know, it's got to move, it's got to have space to move, it's got to move in the right patterns, things you can do to make yourself a little bit more sensitive and also improve the connection between you and your animal companion. So there's a section on all of this on, creating a stronger belief that you can help your animal, you can connect more with them. So there's that section. I've then created a section called Tackling the Unexpected. Things happen. Okay, like with Magnus, like with all my animals at some stage, something's happened. I've needed the vet. It's been unexpected, been a bit of an emergency. What do you do? What do you do? Okay, so things like that. Also, I'm covering in that section if you have a rescue animal, what is the best way to make a rescue animal feel safe? In this section as well, one of the key things, if you subscribe to the fact or the theory that 99.99999% of anything that goes wrong with your animal companion is either caused by stress or exacerbated by stress. Some very, very, I think it's my biggest little subsection. I could hardly get that one down on how to reduce the stress response in your animal companion. And the third section is going to be common problems that have come through my door with my clients a lot. I'm asked a lot about skin conditions, about stiffness and the aging dog, about immunity. You know, there's a lot of problems out there at the moment. They suffer from a toxic world like we do as well. So there's that. And also at the end, Dondi, I want to have time for your questions, you know. So I may not answer as I go along, but at the end, I really want to be able to answer any questions you may have. So I hope that you're going to find it. There'll be lots in there, and I want you to trust that what you need to hear you will hear. And I'm hoping, my wish, my intention is that you pick out from there some things which you will use for the rest of your life. You'll also have a reference if ever you forget anything, you know. So that's me. I just want to share my favorites with you. But it was difficult picking from a real Aladdin's cave, you know.
Bet. I bet. So they get to answer the questions. They get to ask their questions live, and you will answer them. They get the recordings. They get to
Yeah.
spend a whole day with you. And Maddie, how many times I have heard my friends and family say, I just didn't know what to do for my animal
Yeah.
when they were attacked, like Magnus, or the firecrackers, the fireworks were going off, or there was a loud bang and they were shaking for days.
Yeah.
You are going to give the the participants, the viewers, the people who come to this class, you're going to give them techniques and tools to work with their animals. And how amazing it is to be able to help your animal when they're in shock,
Oh,
when
yes.
they are frozen, when they're staring, and you don't know how to reach them, and now people are going to have the tools to reach them. So this is so beautiful. I have two quick questions for you before we go.
Okay.
One is, a person comes along, they're watching this interview, they have no experience in energy medicine, they have an animal, they'd love to help their animal. Are they welcome in the class? They don't know energy.
100%. There are no prerequisites for this. There is one. There's one. You got to love your animals, okay? Because I know you want me to be quick, but I'm going to say the one thing is I will show you how to work with the energy. It is not difficult. Your children can do it. I promise you. But you have an advantage over a lot of other people, is that love bond you have with your animal companion is one of the strongest healing forces there is. And I'm going to show you ways of channeling that love that you have into some of the techniques, into all of the techniques, in fact, which just like supercharge it. It's really special, that bond. So you may not even know what a meridian is or what a chakra is. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'll show you how to work with your energies.
Fantastic. So come to the class, even if you're a complete beginner.
Yeah.
Now, Maddie, my last question. For the person who knows energy medicine, for the person who has been doing energy medicine or energy healing or Reiki or massage with their clients, can't they take those techniques and just do it on their animals, or is it different?
You know, energy is energy, whether it's an animal or a human. But what I've discovered is it is different. Okay, animals are very different to humans in the way they respond to energy work, and there are nuances which we've developed, which really make it specific to the animal companions. So even an experienced energy worker can discover the nuances that make it special for the animals to
Wonderful,
absorb.
wonderful. Now, I've been with you in your homes in Spain and London and on the Isle of Wight. You always have animals.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing you one day doing, I think you were running a meridian on one of your dogs. It was a long time ago. And I noticed that it was different. And I said, "Oh, Maddie, what are you doing?" And you said, "Well, I'm doing whatever it was, lung meridian, heart meridian, I don't remember." And I said, "You're doing it different." And you said, "It is a little different on the
Mm.
animals. And this is why." So this is such a brilliant class for those nuances, which are
Yeah.
so important, from human beings to the fur babies to
It's,
the animals. And do you
can I
want to
say,
say
yeah,
something?
I can say this, and I'm not saying yes. You know, but one of the differences which is enchanting to find out is they have a heart, we have a heart. They have a heart chakra, we have a heart chakra. Our heart chakra is out here, out the back a bit. Theirs does that. Theirs go out the shoulders. Okay, and that's where you connect with them. So there's a different, the chakras are quite different on animals. They have extra, they come out different ways. So that's, I'm giving all the secrets away now, aren't I? But there's lots of things like that which take it to another level with animals.
See, just that one gem. And on February 15th, when you come to class, you're going to get a multitude of gems from Miss Maddie. So thank you so much, Madison. February 15th. Sign up now because you get $50 off until Friday for energy medicine and animals. And you get the recordings. We're going to have fun. My sister will be there. I'll be there. Mom might pop in. I think mom is popping in the
Yeah,
morning.
mum is.
So Donna Eden is coming on, and it's live. We have such a good time. Come to us on February 15th. We'll see you then. And Maddie, would you like to say anything else before we go?
Just, I really hope to see you there and bring your animal companion with you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Maddie. I'll see you on February 15th. Goodbye, everybody. For now, click on the link, sign up, and thank you for being with us and being a part of our community. Bye bye.